Hey there, Dr. Hammer. So this is my review of the movie The Babadook. So usually I'm not really into horror films because I don't get scared, but this was like definitely one of the better horror films I've seen, with the exception of the ending. Um, so what I can say I liked about the film was that there was like a lot of foreshadowing. In the very first scene, the mom wakes up from a dream about her husband dying, and her son wakes up from a nightmare about like a monster. So she's constantly checking underneath the bed and in the closet for the monster. And what I noticed was that um, when he's having, that nightmare, that she reads him a story, and that story's Three Little Pigs. And in Three Little Pigs, there's like a big bad wolf. And throughout the film, Samuel's like constantly yelling for his mom's attention, is constantly going, "Mom, mom, mom." And like when shit finally goes down, like she doesn't listen to him. And that's kind of like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. So I kind of saw that comparison about like the story with the Three Little Pigs and like Samuel being the boy who cried wolf. So also with foreshadowing within the film, there was a lot of foreshadowing in the book itself. And in the book, it tells and says that the more you deny it, the stronger it gets. And also, when she gets it back the second time, details the events of what would happen if the Babadook is like led into the house. So it shows like the dog dying and like her son dying, like she's murdering all of them, and she even murders herself at the end. So she kind of follows through and kills the dog, but I kind of was expecting like the son to die too, especially after seeing what happened on the news. And um it was like basically the same exact story of like the mom killing the son on his seventh birthday. And she even sees herself in the window of that house on the news. So, not saying that Samuel should have died because of all the foreshadowing and stuff like that, but it definitely would have been like a lot scarier if Samuel did die. And he was also kind of like a brat. Um, I also noticed like the Babadook was wearing like a top hat, and Samuel was into magic, which a lot of magicians, they wear top hats. And also Samuel's constantly saying not everything's as it appears to be, and that saying kind of holds true to when the Babadook enters the mom's body, and he notices that that's not really his mom. So that's kind of goes off of not everything appearing as it always seems to be. um I also like appreciated the cinematography of the film. Anytime that like a light would flicker, um something bad would happen, and the monster appeared like only in darkness, like with most horror films, obviously. And so the Babadook first appears like at night, and Amelia proceeds to go downstairs and turns on all the lights because the monster can't appear in darkness. I mean, can appear in light and can only appear in darkness. And I also appreciated how the monster sounded almost human-like, and it was just really slow, like knocks and ba ba duke. So it kind of added to a lot of suspense in the film, and it definitely kind of made it pretty scary because of that. So I also, because of the ending of how the monster living in the basement at the end, like I didn't really appreciate that. Like they just kind of accepted it and like fed it and like accepted it into their home. So it's not like they really defeated the monster, because like what if she just goes downstairs one day and the monster just attacks her? You can see in the final scene like the monster's kind of getting better, but is still attacking her. So what does that mean? Like, I don't really kind of get that ending. Is um it could have been done a lot better. um but I would have rated this movie like an 8 out of 10. It wasn't for the ending of that film. I guess I give it like a 6 out of 10. All right, well, that concludes this review then.